Hello, friends. I hope you all are doing well. In this discussion, I am going to start the ordinal utility theory analysis, and in which we get to know about the indifference curve approach, and further, we will also discuss the revealed preference approach. As far as indifference curve approach is concerned, this is propounded by Hicks and Allen, and one of famous book written by Hicks is Value and Capital. And this theoretical approach is also based on some of the assumptions. These are rationality, ordinal utility, diminishing margin rate of substitution, consistency and transitivity of choices, and total utility is a function of individual utilities. So, rationality, as we know that we all consumers always want to maximize our satisfaction level given to our burst constraint or purchasing power and prevailing market prices. So that's why all the consumers are assumed to be rational in nature. Second one is ordinal utility. It means utility is not a measurable concept. If we have some chosen bundle of goods, then we can rank them or order them according to our preferences or satisfaction level. What we can't measure, the utility. So that's why it is a ordinal in nature. Third one is diminishing margin rate of substitution. If, for example, our satisfaction level or preferences are ordered or ranked uh, in an indifference curve, then we also know that indifference curves are usually convex in nature, and the slope of indifference curve also shows us the margin rate of substitutions. And if indifference curve are based or preferences are based on such combinations, then this axiom may apply that the margin rate of substitution may diminish over the period of time. So that's why this assumption is related with that. Fourth one is consistency and transitivity of choices. Consistency means if we have, for example, two chosen bundle of goods X and Y, and one time B are preferred X over Y, and what next time it can't happen that me may prefer Y over X. Be always consistent with our order preferred bundle, that is preferred combination, that is X over Y. Second one is transitivity of choices. It means, for example, if we have more than two chosen bundle of goods X, Y and Z, and the preferred combination is such that X is preferred over Y and Y is preferred over Z, then the third combination automatically will be that X is always preferred over Z. This is transitivity of preferences. So last one is total utility as the summation or function of all the individual utilities that we may compute got through the consumptions of all the items uh, that is included in our consumption bundle. So further equilibrium of consumers, we may derive it through the indifference curve. And as we know that indifference curve is the locus of all the combinations uh, which may give us the same level of satisfactions, and we may compute the slope of indifference curve, and this is the negative of del y upon del x, and also equal to marginal rate of substitution between x and y, and further it is also equal to marginal utility of x upon marginal utility of y. So if for example there are more than one indifference curve, then it shows us the indifference map, and it reveals that all the indifference curve which rank the preferences of the consumers. This is a indifference map. So higher the indifference curve, higher will be the level of satisfaction, and vice versa. Next one is that there are some properties with regard to the indifference curve. These are indifference curve convex in nature, that have a negative slope. Second one is higher the indifference curve, higher will be the level of satisfaction or utilities. Third one is indifference curves never intersect with each other. If this happen, then all the bundles we have, it may becomes indifferent for each other. For example, in graph, two indifference curve are intersecting each other, that is IC1 and IC2. In one time, one portion of IC is higher than IC2, IC1 is higher than IC2, and another time same indifference curve is lower than second indifference curve. So one time we are higher level of satisfaction, another time we are lower level of satisfaction on same indifference curve. What? It violates the basic properties of indifference curve, that is, same indifference curve shows us the equal level of satisfactions of different combination of goods. What? In that case, it may violates these properties or assumptions, because we are indifferent about our choices, and we can't say that which combination will be the optimum or give us the high level of satisfaction. So it should not be intersect with each other. So further, the slope of indifference curve, we may derive it through the utility function. If utility is a function of x and y, and it is also equal to k constant, then by differential we can got the slope of indifference curve, and using the product rule of differentiation here, we may got the combination that if x and y are two different functions here, then it is equal to the first function multiplied y the derivative of second plus the second function multiplied y the derivative of first functions, and it is also equal to marginal utility of y into dy plus marginal utility of x upon d of x. And in particularly in indifference curve case, the total functions is by definition is assumed to be equal to 0. In that case, the differential may be also becomes equal to 0, and by rearranging this, we may obtain our slope of indifference curve, that is negative of del y upon del x is equal to marginal utility of x upon marginal utility of y, and also equal to marginal rate of substitution between x and y. And further, there may be different types of goods. There may be complementary goods, there may be a perfect substitutes, and also may be substitutes in nature. So nature wise there may be different types of goods. In perfect substitute type of goods, the indifference curve may be negative linear in nature, and B may got the consumer equilibrium by corner solution. Uh, if the equilibrium of consumer may be corner solution, then in that situation, the consumer may spend all of his or her income either Y or maybe on X bundle of good. Then, in that situation, it is known as monomania type of situations. What in real world, it is rarely found because we may not always stick with the one preferred bundles, but we always prefer to multiple bundles of choices or preferences. In complementary type of good, the indifference curve may be uh, L-shaped or right angle, and it shows the zero substitution between the two bundles of goods. Further, the burst line. So burst line basically is the graphical representation of all the possible combinations of two goods that may be purchased with our given income or purchasing power and prevailing market prices. So we may compute that which portion or how much portion of our income is we are spending on by combination and how much on X combination. So further, the consumer equilibrium have two basic conditions, that is necessary condition and sufficient condition. Necessary is that margin rate of substitution between X and Y, it should be equal to marginal utility of X that we have got from the consumption of X bundle of goods upon marginality of Y is equal to price of X upon price of Y. Sufficient condition is that indifference curve should be convex in nature, and in graphically representation we are seeing here that there are three different uh, indifference curves, IC1, IC2 and IC3, and one of indifference curve is tangent with the burst line, and the point E of Y star and X star shows us the consumer equilibrium. This equilibrium point fulfill both of the condition, that is necessary as well as sufficient condition, while others indifference curves are not fulfilling both of the uh, necessary as well as sufficient conditions. So at the point of tangency, the marginal utility of X upon marginal utility of Y, it will be equal to the P of X upon P of Y. So this is all about the indifference curve approach as a part of ordinal theory or ordinal utility theory analysis. So next lecture we will also discuss about the revealed preference approach. Till then, have a nice day, and at last I want to thank all the viewers. Thank you very much.